Okay, everybody, thanks for joining us today. This video is brought to you today by Blended Sons. What we'd like to go over today is just a couple of quick examples of what a homeowner could do to get ready to turn their air conditioning on for the first time in the cooling season. So first, what we would suggest is to go to the thermostat. Now, there's many different types of thermostats, but we would like you to just go ahead and turn the thermostat to the off position. Alright, so once we turn the thermostat off, this way we know the furnace is not going to run, the air conditioner isn't going to run. This is an example of another type of thermostat, but one good thing to do in the beginning of a season is go ahead and find an access cover, remove it, and take out and change the batteries. Some thermostats have AA, some have AAA. Some thermostats don't have any batteries. But the best piece of advice for a homeowner is to understand your thermostat, how to program it, how to operate it, and whether or not it has batteries. Those batteries should be changed at least once a year. Okay, so we just changed the batteries in our thermostat. We turned the thermostat off. The next thing we would like you to do is go ahead and find the system power switch on your furnace. Now, not every furnace has a power switch. Sometimes it's on the side of the furnace like we have here in our demonstration furnace. Sometimes it could be up in the ceiling. If you don't have a power switch at the furnace, we would suggest that you have one. You can call us at 330-753-7711 and we can add that switch for you. Another way to go about it is to find your breaker box and look for the breaker labeled furnace. Go ahead and turn that off. Now, sometimes when you do that, all the lights in the basement might go out, so you may want to have a flashlight with you. But ultimately, if that happens, there again, we want to have a dedicated circuit to our furnace. You can give us a call. Our electricians will be more than happy to take care of that. So once we know that the power to the furnace is off, that way you can look at everything safely, go ahead and give the system a visual inspection. Now, keep in mind, this is just a presentation furnace that we use, so ultimately it doesn't have everything hooked up to it. But typically, you'll have a drain. You may have some piping. You just want to look for any kind of rust or corrosion or obvious visual issues. Make sure the ductwork isn't falling down. The next thing you should do is go ahead and check and or change your furnace filter. We like to use high efficiency air cleaners. We do recommend everyone have a high efficiency air cleaner. So basically you want to take it out, inspect it. Depending on the type of filter you have, it may or may not be dirty and may or may not need to be changed, but the best thing for you to know is that the frequency in which your filter should be changed. That way you can keep up on that. So we'll go ahead and put this back in so we're ready to run. And at this time we're going to go ahead and leave the furnace power switch off. We don't want it to be able to do anything. Alright, so just a quick recap. We've shut off the thermostat, we've shut off the switch at the furnace, we've changed the batteries in the thermostat, we've checked our air cleaner. We've inspected for any visual issues at the furnace, whether it's rust, corrosion, or a clogged drain. So now we're outside at our outdoor unit. Now, one thing that we want to do to get it ready to start up is obviously remove the cover from the system. Let's have a look at things, see if we see any kind of rodents or nests, any kind of obvious problems. Has a tree branch fell on it? Make sure everything looks okay. Now, typically every air conditioner has what's called a disconnect box. This is an outside fuse box, basically. So one thing you could do, and not everyone's strong enough to do this, but you pull this out. It'll typically have fuses in it. You just want to go ahead and look at that and make sure there's no nesting or rodents or any kind of bugs in there. Look for any signs of corrosion or burn marks or damage. This is the emergency disconnect, so in the event of any kind of an emergency, you can remove this. So let's go ahead and put that back in place. Everything appears to be somewhat normal out here, and now we're ready to go back inside. Okay, so here we are. We've changed our thermostat batteries. We've turned the switch off at the furnace and inspected for any kind of corrosion or issues. We've gone outside, we've had a look at our outdoor unit and removed the cover that could have been on there for the winter season. So now we want to go ahead and turn our furnace switch back on, so that way the system is ready to run. Okay, so now we've done all of our pre-flight inspections, pre-system running inspections. Now we want to go ahead and just set the thermostat to cooling. And we're going to go ahead and turn the temperature down lower than the room temperature. So this way it's ready to go. Okay, so now we've went ahead and we've turned our system on. Once you set the thermostat to cool and the system runs, give it about 15 or 20 minutes, and what you want to do is come down to the furnace and do a look, listen, feel. Let's look at everything. Does it look normal? Listen to it. How does it sound? Does it sound normal? And then go ahead and put your hand on the ductwork, and it should feel cool. Sometimes this ductwork may sweat if there's plenty of humidity in the basement, but ultimately it should feel cold to the touch. That's just a good quick indicator of letting you know that you're getting some type of cooling out of the system. So now let's go do the same procedure outside. Okay, so now we've got our system running. We did our check downstairs. We did the look, listen, and feel inside. Now we want to do the same thing outside. Let's look at it. Does it look normal? Is it walking off of the pad or vibrating? How does it sound? Does it sound normal? Is there excessive noise? And then you will just want to feel. Put your hand above here, and you should be able to feel the air coming out of the top at an angle, and it should feel slightly warm as it's removing the heat from the indoor section of the home. So if everything looks, listens, and feels normal, you're good to go. So now we've completed some basic inspection steps that a homeowner can perform before they turn on their system. Now, the best word of advice is to go ahead and give us a call at 330-753-7711. One of our many certified technicians will be more than happy to come out and perform precision tune-up for you. Also ask about our maintenance value plan. This way we could do other inspections and also provide some other cleanings to your system to help it maintain efficiency and operate the best that it can. Thanks for joining us today.